Rick, what are your biggest takeaways now that you've had a night to sleep on what you saw last night?
Yeah, just nice win, but right back at it. I like the thing I like the last couple of days is the energy level's really high, so you want to keep that momentum with the energy.
What's been the most impressive thing on and off the ice from these new guys and how they're coming into this room?
Well, it's just they've only been here a few days, but to me, the excitement of being traded here, which is nice. Seemed like just from doing research on them, very coachable kids, very coachable, want to learn, and the enthusiasm they're bringing to our team.
Our daily Quinn update.
Yeah, he's not going to make the trip. It's a day-to-day thing right now. He'll stay back. Whether he skates tomorrow, we'll talk about that later today.
Would he try to maybe practice with you Friday just to see where he's at? When you get back
Possibility.
there?
I don't want to say for sure, but he's we want to make sure that he's right.
Edel keeps climbing the charts, PP1 today. Obviously rationale is good there with everything he does, right?
I think patience with a puck, being able to come up with loose pucks with people on top of them. Those are the guys you want. His vision, and he's got a good shot. So I think he deserves a shot to get up there.
It's only 2 games.
Yeah.
But is Cheadle better than you thought you were getting? He was a guy in New York.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him. To be honest, I watched a little bit about him when I watched the Rangers, but what I noticed from behind the bench is in the neutral zone, being able to get the puck and keeping it, and then attacking. Listen, sometimes there's no play, but there are a lot of times there is a play, and he's finding it, and puts teams on pause. Instead of just staying on the outside and chipping it in. I think he's a guy that's willing to take that puck and try to find something else.
As a coach, every player is looking for opportunity. So when you see his skill set, and he's 25, so he's not young, but he's not old.
Yeah.
Do you see much higher ceiling for him potentially than what he has shown to this point in the NHL?
Yeah, it's a short sample size, but there is definitely there's a level there. There's definitely I was talking to Phil Aronik, countryman. He knows him. There's definitely, and you can tell he wants to show that there's another level. And I think as a coaching staff, we want to help him get there. But there's some things. He's got the characteristics of a guy that can be a 200-foot, tall, lanky centerman.
Could he end up being your face-off guy? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what's his 48% when he got here, somewhere around there, and he hasn't seemed like a 48% guy. So if he can really be good on the dots, which we really need, that really help. Obviously, Mills was a big part of our face-off, so if he can help out and shore that up, that would really help.
Is that because he was a third-line guy in the Rangers, and maybe the matchups he might have faced tougher guys in the circle?
It's a good question. I don't know. Yeah. But there's been some pressure situations. I put him out there, and he's won a draw, so that's a good sign.
How much do you get involved when you're interested in players, not just the player but the person? It's only been a few days, but the vibe in the room is noticeable. Yeah. When a guy like Marcus Pettersson comes in, is not afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
How valuable is that as a coach? Because you want them to set the culture, you want them to set the vibe, and it's noticeable.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to overstate everything, and it's I'm not a roller coaster type of guy, but I will say. The last 3 or 4 days, there's definitely I know we just finally had our first practice, but there is a nice energy in there, and when you have bring in 5-6 new guys, there's new energy, and like I said, the one thing I can tell you, they want to be coached. That's nice.
Rick, when these players first arrived, you talked about how you don't want to put too much on them system-wise. How has that progressed over the last couple of days? Have you been able to talk to them about the system a little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit. I think D-zone coverage, I think I got to spend some time with Heedle here a little bit on just, there's a couple of times where he was running around because I don't know if that's a system thing, man. I don't think Rangers played man. Maybe they play man-on-man. We don't play man-on-man. So just a couple of little coverage things that we'll have to clean up. But like I said, I don't want to overload him. He's doing fine right now, but we will sit down. And I talked to Nate about that. I want to watch video with him and show him a couple things of what we do here. But so you give him a little bit of time.
And with the Four Nations, we talked about Quinn, but
Yeah.
Crosby was injured last night. As a coach, how does that process work with you guys? Do you have a list of players that are replaceable depending on who goes out?
Yeah, we had a call 3 days ago, excuse me, 3 days ago of who would be our choice for the next guy. You know, obviously the defense, we still got to figure that out with Pietrangelo, but we also talked about forwards. 2 or 3 guys are in the mix here in the next 5 days. I don't know when they're going to announce it, but yeah, we have talked about that.
Rick, what was behind the move to bring Almond back, and was Carlson okay last night, or like he took a stick in a place you don't want to take a stick?
No, it wasn't. I think because Abbotsford, what we've done here, and I remember doing this in Pittsburgh. I don't mind this. Plus, the positional, I like having that extra centerman. Obbs has played really well. It's got nothing to do with Carlson. He could be up in the next couple of days. It's just being able to get a guy to practice with us. I like that. Patrick likes that. Jim likes that. So it's got nothing. It's no indictment. I think Carly's game has been coming, and I think it's important that we can rotate a couple of guys. That's what we feel like.
You said yesterday you hadn't even thought about Four Nations with regard to Quinn.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't even come up.
Yeah.
At what point will it come up?
Well, it's getting close. It's a good question. Is it depends on the next 48 hours? I guess that's really comes down to. So we'll sit down with Quinn and talk to him.
If he's not able to play on Saturday, do you think that's an indication that maybe he shouldn't be playing at the Four Nations?
It could be. Depends on how close he is to plan on Saturday. That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, we're gonna have to. It's gonna have to have a hard, long look at this. Like every player, you're concerned about safety and healthy and all that stuff.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
he's wanting to play these games, right? He says he can play.
Like our games now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he wants to play, but we don't. He can't play. Put it this way, I can be the bad guy. I don't care. Like he's not going to play. Yeah, would he try to gut it out? But I think he's a smart kid too. He knows like gutting it out is not going to help our team. For us, last game of the year, I don't even know if he'd play. Probably, but right now it's. The kid's got a big will to play, but he knows. He knows better than that.
What about the runway too? I mean, the tournament's great, but the stretch drive is obviously more important. I mean, how do you even broach that?
Well, it's tough, like in Pietrangelo, he's made that decision. So I don't know. It's a tough one because I know Quinn is a USA guy. He loves his country. Play with his brother. There's a lot of positives to it, but like I said, we got to. He's a smart kid too. He understands what's at stake also.
We saw him skate yesterday morning. Did he skate today on his own? Do you know? Or?
He did not skate today. No.
One time for Thatcher Demko.
Thank you.
How many more Pedersons can you add to the
I was waiting for that.
Carter Verhage.
What is your favorite hockey team?
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes is your favorite hockey team?
Quinn, thanks for taking the time to come and sit down and chat with me today.
Generational talent.
Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.